Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Golfing Dads. How's
What's up,
everybody
everybody?
doing tonight?
What's going on?
Cheers, y'all. 2 weeks in a row for me. This is a new record.
Dave has made it 2 weeks in a row. Today, we welcome to the Golfing Dads, Amber Bogle with PGA HOPE. Welcome to the show, Amber.
Hello. Thank you.
So first off, for our fans and our golfing community who may not be familiar with PGA HOPE, can you let them know and let us know what is the core mission within the veteran community and what is PGA HOPE?
Yeah. So PGA HOPE. HOPE stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. It is free golf lessons for veterans and active service members that are taught by PGA professionals. It's a 6 to 8 week long program. And on the surface, it looks like it's free golf lessons, but it is so much more. The core mission of PGA HOPE is to change and save the lives of veterans because we've discovered how not only recreational golf is, but also rehabilitative. You have veterans that are going through PTSD, depression, anxiety, and golf provides them therapeutic relief and also addresses their physical, social, emotional, and mental well-being. So the core mission is to change and impact lives of our veterans, active service members through the game of golf.
That is fantastic. We always love when you can grow the game and you can help people and help our veterans, because that is an amazing thing that as a society we should do better at, in my opinion. And I love
100%.
when organizations like yourself are part of that. So thank you.
Thank you.
So Amber, I did a little homework. Did a little on you, and you can find you very easily on Google, funny enough. And so you're a veteran, you're a softball player, now you're a PGA HOPE member, but you're also the 2024 PGA HOPE ambassador. You're the PGA Works fellow. You've gone from the military to the softball field, and now you're doing crazy things for veterans. Can you talk about your journey as to where you are today? Like, it's kind of amazing.
This journey, it has been an unbelievable adventure, and I just hope that the ride never ends because yes, all of that. I'm not a softball player anymore. I gave it up to focus on getting better at golf. But the journey first started when, dang it, I talk about, the veterans going through anxiety, depression. April of 2023 is when I went through my PGA HOPE program. And a couple months before that, I'll compare it to feeling like I was at the bottom of the ocean, looking up and not ever knowing if I was ever going to get to the top again. So I'm a big quotes person. I try to be really self-motivated, and I always think that you fall down 7 times, you get back up 8. And I got an email that told me, or that said in the subject line, free golf for veterans. And I said, okay, all right, softball player for life. You need something to be excited about. You need something to work towards. And so I signed up for the PGA HOPE program right then and there. And I'm very lucky that I did, because that email was sent out by the United States Department of Veteran Affairs, and it went to every single veteran. So that email crashed the PGA HOPE system because so many people were trying to sign up. People even in Nebraska were waiting for over a year to get into our programs.
Wow.
So I know. It was crazy, and goes to show that, things happen for a reason. I'm so lucky that I got in to participate for that program, because I would not be in this position as I am today. So, I sign up, I count down the months, the weeks, the days, the hours until that program started. It was Thursday, April 20th, 2023, 5:30 at Highlands Golf Course in Lincoln, Nebraska. And that is the moment, going into that room, meeting the individuals that were working for the section, our professionals, and then also reconnecting with my fellow veterans. That is what I needed the most at that time in my life. So fast forward 6 weeks, I go through the program and I said, this is amazing. This cannot be the end of it. So I reach out to the individual that's running our program, who's a very good friend of mine now, who is right across the office from me. His name's Seth. And I said, what else is there? And he basically said, Amber, it's not going to stop here. So we have post-program events, and I was involved in every single one of them that I could. I volunteered as much as possible because I loved that community. I loved the game of golf, and I just had to be involved. Then I got approached by Seth asking, Amber, would you ever do a career switch? Which I had been working in the legal industry for 15 years. He didn't even have to finish the sentence because I said, absolutely. You have a passion and you develop a purpose. And that's exactly what I had been missing my entire life. What is my passion? What is my purpose? And it's to positively impact lives of our veterans. And I get to do it through the game of golf, the best sport there is. So I'm so lucky for that adventure. I also, like you said, I was a PGA HOPE ambassador for 2024. There's 20 selected each year from all over the country, and I was lucky enough to be one selected in 2024. The things that I've been able to do, the people that I've been able to meet, whether it's celebrities or just my fellow veterans that went through the similar process that I did, it's been life-changing. And now to go to running the programs, the PGA HOPE programs for the Nebraska PGA, I've got my dream job. I'm fulfilling my passion. I've got purpose in my life. And I can't tell you how thankful I am for that.
We can see it. I'll tell you right now, we can see it when you're talking.
And it's amazing what you say, about being at the bottom of the ocean and looking up. The three of us in our past life in the hospitality industry, we worked with a lot of veterans. I have my Paris Island flag is right over here over my shoulder, and our Buddy Lee, also veteran-owned company that we work with quite closely, there. But you're moving from a structure like that, and you're looking up and trying to find all this. But within the PGA HOPE program, what does a typical session look like, somebody, and how do veterans experience the game through this new structure?
Yeah, sure. So like I said previously, 6 weeks long. The first 5 weeks in the Nebraska section, we have them for 90 minutes. We do a welcome. I always have the same question every single week. Who practiced, plays, or even thought about golf? Okay, because if you think about it, all right, that's step one. If you practice, step two. And if you get on the course, that's step three, and that's amazing. But all three are amazing. So we have that welcome. And then we have stations. We have a full swing station. We have a chipping station. We have a putting station that we have PGA professionals at each and every one of them. The veterans active service members are split into experience levels. So we have the more advanced golfers grouped together, beginners grouped together, because some people will say, well, this program isn't for me. I've got a handicap already established. I'm like, hey, it's a program for everyone. I've got a friend that I met through the program that has a +2 handicap, and he loved it. Okay, so we rotate through, and then every session we end with a little competition. And sometimes when that smack talk comes out and we've got our Marines, what kind of crown you like, our dog, and it is a great time. And it shows the camaraderie that military veterans have with each other. Week 5, we go out, we do some on-course coaching. And then week 6 is my favorite week of all. It's graduation week, where we go out, we split them up into groups. Each group has a PGA professional, and we play a scramble. We come in, we have lunch or dinner, depending on the time. I've got gifts for them and a graduation certificate. The only requirement that I ask them is that they tell me the most favorite thing that they experienced the last 6 weeks at PGA HOPE. And that's what our session looks like.
Amber, I want to follow up on that. And you talked about how you divide up amongst, beginners to experienced golfers. And it's just a follow-up question. Do you guys do anything for any golfers, say they're disabled from their military experience? Do you have anything for that?
Yes, absolutely. So every single PGA professional that is an instructor in our program has to go through a PGA HOPE adaptive training session. It's 4 hours, and you learn how to teach adaptive golf. And I say, give me a veteran that we cannot have participate in our program. We've had someone that utilizes wheelchairs. We have limb loss. We had someone that was visually impaired and utilized a wheelchair in one of our sessions in the summer. And it was an amazing experience because this game is for everyone. And this program, it's for every veteran that I've ever met. Even if you don't like golf, I want you to do it. Are you visually impaired? I want you to try it. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about you guys. I've got chills right now. This is
I do too. I am loving every moment of this, and I'm loving your passion and because we all have family and friends in the military and have served our country, and what you do for all of them is fantastic. But with that being said, Amber, we're gonna take a break here real quick. We'll be right back with Amber. We just got to pay some bills.
Ready to take your game to the next level? Desert Fox Golf's collegiate gear is growing fast, with over 25 universities and counting. Show off your favorite team on the course with the Phone Caddy and DJ10 speaker, built for easy access for every round. Perfect for students, alumni, and college sports fans looking to show off their school spirit. Gear up today at desertfoxgolf.com.
Another great company that also works with like PGA HOPE and other, not PGA, Folds of Honor and different companies as well. So welcome back, Amber. We're seeing the passion that you have for this, and we're loving it so far. And golf can be very therapeutic, and many veterans need support. So how have you seen the sport impact veterans who come through this program and the change or the help that it's the difference that it's made in their lives?
Sure, absolutely. I've seen it support them in so many different ways, whether it's you pull up to a golf course and as soon as you step onto the curb that you're walking to the clubhouse and you just take the weight of the world that's on your shoulders, anything that's in your mind, you just kind of push it to the side for 90 minutes and just focus on you. Because when you're out there, when you are playing golf, if you want to be successful, the only thing that you can focus on is yourself, your swing, and that little golf ball. If you're thinking about what's going on or what bills that you have to pay or anything that's going on in your life, it's not going to do what you want it to do. And sometimes even when you do focus on it, it doesn't do what you want to do. So I've seen that therapeutic aspect of it. I've seen people, you're in the military, you have a job, no matter if it's a big job, a little job, in your point of view, every single person plays a part in the mission being successful. And what I've also seen from our PGA HOPE graduates, that they realize what kind of impact that this program makes on their fellow veterans, and they want to be a part of it. They want to volunteer. They want to continue to be involved, and it gives them a mission to check on one of your PGA HOPE graduates, check on a veteran that you haven't heard from in a couple of weeks. So it gives them a mission in that part. And then also it gives you a competitive aspect. I love competition. Okay. But with golf, you have no control over how someone else is going to perform. So your competition is you versus you the day before. And that's what I've seen people really focus and hone in, because after those 6 weeks that I went through, that was my mission. I was like, I just want to get better. I want to get better. So I went to the driving range all the time. Okay. All the time. I had a crazy golfer stand line. but I've seen it provide that therapeutic relief in so many different ways. And it just continues to amaze me. You know, like I said, graduation ceremony, I asked them what their favorite thing about the last 6 weeks were. There's so many people that say, this is the one thing I had to look forward to each week. It's the one thing that got me out, you know, whether they were experiencing isolation, but it's something where they felt like they belonged. And for those 90 minutes, it's just, it made a difference in their week, their day. And then they had that to look forward to the very next week.
Man, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Cut onions here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love this, Amber. And I love that you said you love quotes. I love the quote you just said there of it's you versus you the day before.
Absolutely.
And I think that's just an amazing quote for anyone who takes up this game, that it's just you improving every single day. So,
right. Yeah.
Oh, man. Great.
Amber, we're big storytellers here. All of our past histories, we all worked for a very large entertainment company located here in Central Florida. You may have heard of before. And we'd love a good story on the positive influence that PGA Hope has had, whether it's you as a veteran or another veteran's life. Do you have a story to share with us?
I have a story to tell you, and someone's going to be cutting some jumbo onions. I've only shared this once or twice, but when I went through the PGA Hope program again, April of 2023, there was this younger veteran that was there in my same program. And I had heard that he was in the Air Force Academy and he was on break, which I was like, okay, you know, that doesn't like make sense for me having a military background. But I'm like, okay, awesome. He loved golf. Okay. He absolutely loved it. He was so happy to be there, happy to be swinging a club. And it's just, he smiled all the time. Okay. He was in my group at graduation, and it was just amazing to see his enthusiasm, his excitement. I was a beginner, and to watch him do some shots, it was wonderful. Connected with him a couple of times after we graduated. He went back to the academy. Fast forward May of 2025, from mid-May of this year, I get a message from his family member, and she tells me that he's passed away. He had a terminal illness where it finally took him in May of 2025, and she invited me to his visitation, to his funeral. And she told me that he loved golf so much. He loved the PGA Hope program. He was a really active person. And as his illness progressed, what made him be able to keep up his activity level was to be able to go out and ride around on a golf cart. Okay, just experience the outdoors, take some swings. He loved it. And so I go to the visitation, and I walk in the front door, and I am just stopped in my tracks. And I was like, oh my gosh. He's got his flight suit on the left. On the right is his Air Force Academy uniform. And like I said, at graduations, we give graduation certificates out. That was in between, that PGA Hope graduation certificate was in between each of those uniforms framed. And it was just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. When I went and I talked to his parents, and they told me that he was so excited about this program, and he was so thankful to have the opportunity to go through it and what it meant to him. And at that moment, I was reminded that you have no idea what a program or what kind of impact it's going to have on someone's life, number one. And number two, you have absolutely no idea what the person next to you is going through. And why he was back on break from the academy is because he was dealing with that illness. So after a couple months, he was able to go back to the academy, graduate, and then he was medically discharged. So that is, it helped him in the last stages of his life, the game, the community. So.
We'll be right back after this.
I mean, for what you all do, and we're going to continue to talk about this, but just thank you. That's unbelievable, that the impact that you all have on these great individuals. Thank you.
Yeah. And
all right, Dave, ask another question.
I'll try and follow this up here. You're talking about how, and this is kind of appropriate here, how the influence here, how has PGA Hope influenced your own perspective on this great game, or even your service or somebody else, or even within the community, whether that is Nebraska or nationwide?
Oh my gosh, it has definitely influenced me immensely. I've been out of the military since 2015. I served 12 years. I joined when I was 8, if you're trying to do the math on how old I am. But
well, military family, you got to start young.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. But in the military, you're typically away from your family, you're away from your loved ones, and you develop that community feeling. You have new brothers, you have new sisters. They're not going to take place of your blood relatives, blood family, but they're going to come close. All right. You have that shared experience where you go through and you find that connection, and I keep harping on community is that word, because for me, when I signed up, I was like, all right, I'm going to learn the game of golf. But like I said, it's so much more, and it gave me so much more, and it's given others so much more, whether it's that community feeling, or it's, feeling like that you have that sense of belonging, or you have that mission. And also having the opportunity to continuing to serve the population that's the most important to me. Like I said previously, my parents both were active duty Air Force for 25 plus years. And the military, it is ingrained in my soul. And if you tell me you're a veteran, you already have a special place in my heart, because we've got that connection. I know that I can think of what you've been through, but, being able to come full circle and have all those wants and desires, helping people, helping veterans, finding that mission, finding a place to belong. And that game of golf is the vehicle that brings it all together. So.
Wow. This is fantastic. And Amber, what you and PGA Hope does is great. So with that, what type of resources or support does PGA Hope provide to people that they might not realize? Because we think just golf, but what kind of resource and support other than that do you guys offer?
Yeah. So, I love that camaraderie. I love the community feel. The first 6 weeks are absolutely amazing. I loved every moment of all the information that I was getting from our PGA professionals. I loved it. But what I also loved is being able to still be involved after those 6 weeks are over. We have things called post-program events where we try to put them in 3 different buckets. One is instruction. People want to learn more about the game of golf. Okay. They want to learn more. They want to take more instruction. We've got competitive aspects. So we host tournaments that we put them on. Gosh, we've got some fun tournaments. I wish that I could play in them instead of having to run them now, but I'm not complaining that I have my dream job. And then we also have a community service aspect of it, whether it's, we try to do something once a quarter. Is it a food drive at one of our tournaments? Is it making breakfast and feeding it to the homeless population in the Omaha area? So we have so many different buckets that they fall into, not all having to do with the game of golf. So it gives them different avenues to explore in their own golf journey, and then also make some great friends along the way.
Obviously, the PGA Hope is tied obviously in there with the PGA of America and the PGA Professionals, which is huge. We've done a lot of work with the PGA Club Pro champions that have gone on to play in the PGA Championship. But how does that partnership, whether it's with the PGA Professionals, any of your volunteers, local communities, how does that help you guys run successful programs?
So at the end of every single session that we have, everyone gathers around and we have our coach, each of our 5 coaches. We've got 25 veterans in each program. They have a final piece of advice that they went over for the session that they're going to send our veterans off with. After that's done, I take a moment and thank our PGA professionals, because hours in the golf industry, they can be so long. You have minimal days off, but our PGA professionals make their days even longer so they can be involved in our program, because they know and they believe in the impact that the game that they are so passionate about makes on other people. So I make sure that they understand that without them, we couldn't have this program. It wouldn't happen. Like, our PGA professionals are the ones that are instructors for our PGA Hope programs. So making sure that they know and realize and feel how grateful and how thankful that we are for their time. Also, our host facilities, being able to thank them for the access to their practice facilities and the access to their courses, and to being able to hold our post-program events there. And then our volunteers, we couldn't do it ourselves. Our volunteers at our events are absolutely, what helps us get the job done. And it is all of us working together to impact the lives in veterans. It comes full circle again. We all have to work together for it to be successful. And we try to show thanks and appreciation at every opportunity that we get.
It's all that community.
Amber, I do want to ask, how does somebody, if they want to volunteer and help with you guys, how do they get involved in that?
Yep. So the PGA of America has 41 sections. I'm in the Nebraska section, where we cover the state of Nebraska, the western fifth of Iowa, and then a small portion of South Dakota. I would encourage someone to look up and see where a PGA Hope program is near you. You can go to pgahope.com, be able to type in an address. Or let's say if you know what section that you live in, like if someone lives in Omaha, Nebraska or Lincoln, Nebraska, they can drop me an email, send me a message, whatever, say that they want to help out. And I said, I've got stuff for you. So definitely contacting someone that works in that PGA section to see how you can get involved.
That is fantastic. Well, we're going to thank one of our sponsors here while we take a break here real quick. Want to think less and swing better? The Bridgestone Mindset Golf Ball keeps your focus tight and your game sharper. Bridgestone Mindset, clarity in every shot. The official golf ball of the Golfing Dads.
So we talked about, volunteers and the PGA professionals, the PGA of America. But what we've been, you're capping off your bookend of our series here on the PGA Show. So what role does PGA Hope play at the PGA Show, and why is it important for the organization to be represented at the show here in January?
Oh, it's extremely important. You have 47 million people play golf. Whether it is at a green grass facility, you're on a golf course, or you're at off-course location, which is Topgolf or simulators. And I think last year when I was there, record numbers of attendance, exhibitors, PGA professionals, and then members of the public, those golfers. I challenge someone to find me an individual that's maybe above 20 years old that does not know a veteran. So it is extremely important to be there. So you've got that, you raise awareness of the program itself, but then you also bring it to the attention of the other brands, the facilities, and the PGA professionals that might not yet be involved in a PGA HOPE program. In addition, this is kind of a shameless plug, but it gives people ideas. The charitable fundraising aspect of golf in 2024 was $4.6 billion. So that is how much money was raised in those charity golf events, $4.6 billion. And if someone works in a golf industry, they are passionate about that game. And for them to maybe keep us, PGA HOPE, in the back of their minds when they're thinking of a beneficiary for one of their fundraisers. I had the opportunity to attend an event in DC in October. My gosh, it was insane. It was so insane. It was wow, I was just blown away. Mission Critical Worldwide. It was the Data Center Open. And then at the end, I got to accept $100,000 check for PGA HOPE. And it's crazy. It's amazing the people that you meet, whether it's at the PGA Show or you've got somewhere else, you're making connection at a coffee shop down the street. They're looking for beneficiaries to, have at their events. So awareness.
And like you're talking, I did bring up the PGA HOPE Midwest section, right here in Iowa. So it's very, very easy to find. Just Google, PGA HOPE and your state, and it's going to come up. And just scrolling through it while you were talking, just the several opportunities that are just popping up, here in the great state of Iowa.
Yes.
Amber, I'm going to say this. We appreciate a shameless plug on this show. We are really good at it ourselves. So you are more than welcome. That just fill you in on that.
Plug away.
Plug away. Yeah. So, the PGA Show is basically the Super Bowl of the golf industry. And we think of it that way. What does it mean for veterans and PGA HOPE participants to have the visibility on this grand stage at the PGA Show?
It gives them the opportunity to share their passion for the program. So we have, like I said, I'm a PGA HOPE ambassador. We have 100 ambassadors from around the country, and each one of them has their own story on how this program has impacted their lives. And it gives them a chance to share their story with others that they may interact with, whether it's a PGA professional that is an instructor in New York and this ambassador is from California. They've got that connection. They're building that community. So that gives them the opportunity to make connections and thank our PGA professionals, but then also draws in, like I said, that there are some PGA professionals that hadn't had a chance to become PGA HOPE trained or haven't instructed in a program. It gives them a living, breathing body of proof on how impactful the PGA HOPE program is. And then also just thanking them, saying, you know what? You might not have been an instructor in 2025 or 2024, but I know it. I know that you're going to be one in 2026. You're going to have that opportunity, and you will have your life changed, and you will change someone's lives during that time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so good.
It's just amazing how this simple game is so impactful to people of all walks of life. But we're going to give you one more shot here at your shameless plug to plug away here. And what message would you hope industry leaders take away after connecting with PGA HOPE at the show?
Yeah. PGA Hope is powerful. It changes lives every single day. It even saves them. You know, I've had people come up to me and tell me, Amber, I would not be alive today if it weren't for the PGA Hope program. It is meaningful, it is impactful, and it makes a difference for our veterans and for our active service members. So having support across the golf industry and beyond would just support and help us further our mission to positively impact and change lives of our military members.
Well, Amber, I gotta say, there's not a dry eye in the house here right now. I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everything that you and everyone with PGA Hope nationwide do for our veterans. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So if anyone out there is looking for an organization, they want to volunteer, they want to come out, they want to be a part of this, they are a veteran looking to join PGA Hope, one more time, can you let all of our viewers please know where they can find you and where they can find PGA Hope if they're going to be at the PGA Show, if they're looking for you?
Sure. Yes. You can go to pgahope.com. You should be able to search programs near you. 2026 is going to be an exciting year. There was in 2024, 17,000 veterans were served over 550 program locations. So it is all over the place. Okay. I would encourage you to check it out. And then if you are at the PGA Show, when you walk in the front door in the PGA of America hub, you are going to see the PGA Hope setup, which on humongous walls is every single PGA professional that was involved in a program, a PGA Hope program in 2025. Every single PGA professional will have their name on that board. And those ambassadors that are there help, thanking you, greeting you, telling you more about the PGA Hope program. I guarantee you they are going to be so excited to help those PGA professionals find their names and thank them for their service to the veterans and active service members. So right as you walk in, I promise you won't be able to miss it.
Well, Amber, thank you so much. Not just for being on this show today. We really appreciate that. But more importantly, thank you for your service to this country and now your service to all of these veterans, because the passion you showed here tonight, if you deliver half of that out on the golf course and at these events, then you're doing an amazing job. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I really appreciate the time and the opportunity.
We appreciate you.
It's been
Amber.
our pleasure.
And Amber, you've got our email addresses. You can come back on this show anytime you want. You are more than welcome to come back.
Even if you want to co-host with us one time, feel free to come back.
We're good with that too.
Guys, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Golfing Dads +1.
All right. Thanks, Amber.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Amber. Cheers.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
I meant it when I said there's not a dry eye in this place.
Yeah.
What PGA Hope does for our veterans. I want to go out there. I want to volunteer at one of these things now. I want to get us involved as the golfing dads at one of these events in the future. So, Amber, we will be in touch. But thank you again. I cannot thank you enough, and for everyone at PGA Hope for what they do.
We've been fortunate enough to share some amazingly special stories on this show involving several different people, but I think that's a great end to this year and that message for our veterans and what they're providing, and just
I mean, what do you guys want to talk about now? I'm gonna run a commercial. I'm gonna run a commercial real quick.
Run a commercial.
Run one. Yeah.
Are you looking for the perfect rangefinder? Then check out our friends at Nikon. The new Cool Shots Pro 3. This rangefinder has an amazing OLED display that stabilizes and locks onto your target, giving you that perfect yardage every time. It's also the official rangefinder of the LPGA and the Golfing Dads.
I mean, the LPGA Tour and the Golfing Dads, Nikon rangefinder, go out and get yourself one today.
Yeah.
And watch our video from a week ago. We had Nikon on. They did an amazing job. So,
what are we going to talk about now, guys? Because
we're not. Nothing's going to top what we just talked about. So we'll leave it at that. But there was some big news in the golfing world today that we have to talk about for a few minutes here. There's been someone who is separating themselves from the LIV Tour, and that someone is Brooks Koepka. And we've talked about this for a few weeks. We've seen the rumors that were out there and stuff that was hinting at this, and we kind of called that this might be what is coming, that he would not play this year. And it looks like they have mutually parted ways. So with that being said, Dave, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think this means for LIV, Brooks Koepka, and I'm going to say it, the PGA moving forward?
Yeah, I think when Brooks, let's time travel back a little bit here. I think when Brooks made that jump to LIV, he was at a different point in his life. We've all seen the Netflix special on where he was physically, emotionally, health-wise, between his knees and everything else. And I think where he has come and grown, not only as a golfer, but as a husband and father as well too. He's in a different point in his life, and I think he's taking some time to refocus on who he is, and what he can contribute, to this game going forward. I think LIV was a great stepping stone for him to get back into who Brooks Koepka is as the golfer. And I think, now that he's found that, he now needs to find who Brooks Koepka is, the dad.
So I kind of agree with you, Dave. I think that LIV was a good stepping stone for him. He was kind of on the downslope of his playing game. He had some injuries there. LIV kind of let him get back into that. I think his reasoning is part of what you said. I don't think he liked the team aspect of LIV golf. I don't think that was for him. I think he likes the individual aspects. I think that's what he is passionate about. I don't think the team aspect, he didn't see the differentiation between the two at LIV. It's what we have said before, that they need to pick one or the other. And I think he was just done with that. And he can see a better future for himself, hopefully, in my opinion, on the PGA Tour. Steve, what are your thoughts on this?
Man, here we go. All right. Saw this coming 6 ways from Sunday. Do I think that Brooks Koepka a year from now? So it's funny. The rumor has been floated that they have to serve a 1-year suspension. Brooks Koepka last played in a LIV event on August 17th, which would put him right in line for the end of the PGA Tour season for 2026, right before the playoffs start. Or is that actually, that's probably about the start of the playoffs at that point, isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
But
I'm trying to do math.
Think about this. If he wins 2 majors.
So that's been my take after this today is, let's say he shows up at Augusta, and I'm still shocked with his game that he hasn't won at Augusta. Let's be real. The dude he's long. He hits it great. He rolls the rock great. He's got a decent short game. I'm surprised he hasn't won around Augusta, because I feel like Augusta is one of those places for him that, like, he would be licking his chops to get there.
I think it's a mental thing with him.
Okay, Steve, I'm gonna ask you a question in your rabbit hole here.
Yep.
Do you think part of his mutually agreed upon exiture from LIV is that he doesn't show up at a major this year at all?
No, because the majors are their own entity anyway. We've had this conversation about Brooks in the past, where Brooks has never been part of the team uniform for Smash, because he's had his Nike agreement, and he had his Nike agreement with with the Cleveland Strix on, so he never had the staff bag. He never had the team bag, head covers, or apparel. So it was always an odd, like, he was the last guy, like, holding out. I think he can play the 4 majors this year. I think you will see him at all 4 majors because he's exempt into them based on his 2023 win at the PGA. And then I think you see, and I'm going to go hot take right now, that it will be announced at some point that he will be rejoining the PGA Tour after August 17th. And I also think that there will be a additional team announced for TGL for 2027, and Brooks Koepka will be on that team.
So I don't think your August date is going to be right. I think it's going to be his official leaving of LIV. It has to be a year from today. So I think you'll see him next in 2027 on the PGA and maybe TGL. But I think he'll play in majors. I think because he's going to want to keep his game in check. But I think that PGA, in my opinion, will be next year. It won't be in August of
if Brooks shows up in a fall series event because he does anybody care if he shows up in a fall series event and plays? No.
I think if he shows up in a fall series event because he has to now qualify for next year, I think that would fulfill that kind of punishment. So that might be the case. So maybe he does show up in like a September time frame.
He's still exempt based on his win at the 2023 PGA, so he wouldn't have to qualify. Like at that point,
true,
he doesn't have to qualify. So I think that there is from my aspect of how I look at this, Brooks was the obvious guy to come back first. Bryson was out there recruiting players to go. And from what has been written, it's why his penalty and Phil's penalty would be much more severe because of the fact that they were recruiting players to go. Brooks was not. Brooks was recruited to go. Brooks went, and Brooks has always, again, he played on that. He was the first LIV player to play on the Ryder Cup team. And Bryson,
he's the first LIV player to win a major while on LIV.
Correct. And when you look at the inner workings of, and I don't want to call it the boys club of the PGA Tour, but the guys on the PGA Tour, Brooks is very well liked.
Well, and that's the other thing I would say. If I'm Brooks, why am I not looking at this? I'm the first to win a major while on LIV.
Mm-hmm.
I got on the Ryder Cup team while on LIV, but I get no love from LIV.
From LIV.
I don't blame him for leaving, to be honest with you. No. Like, why would you want to stay? Why wouldn't you want to go back to a place that still, even when you went to LIV, showed you respect?
Yep.
And go back to that. So
we'll
see what happens. You are frozen, so we'll enjoy Frozen Dave here for a minute. But with that being said, Merry Christmas to everyone and a Happy New Year. We will be back in the new year with more shows, more leading up to the PGA show.
Really quick, based on the comments we just got, hey, Gus, Merry Christmas, buddy. Have a great one, and look forward to a new announcement from you and where you're going here in the new year. So we'll talk soon.
Yep, and we will have more from the Golfing Dads in the new year and leading up to more from the PGA Show. And thank you again to Amber and everyone at PGA Hope for being our guest tonight.
Correct.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
I'm really fortunate, man. I mean, have an opportunity to build something that's
And remember, folks, use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at Desert Fox Golf. Also use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at golfish.com. Use code GolfingDads to get 20% off your order at Jacket Sunscreen. And use the Golfing Dads Tavern to get 5% off your order at FlightScope.